Hey there, it's Jared Hamilton with the Hamilton Group at Cherry Creek Mortgage. Welcome to another edition of Java with Jared. Hope you guys are doing great, just having a little fun here. That's a song that you heard by Macklemore. My kids are listening to it. It's Can't Hold Us. And I thought it was really appropriate because it says, put your hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. And there's a lot of debate going on right now in Congress, which you're hearing about over the debt ceiling. And that's having some effects on the market. So I wanted to let you know how that might translate into mortgage interest rates in the week to come, as well as what's happened this last week. All right, so we saw a lot of economic data. Rates actually finished the week better this week, again, than where they were last week. Again, we saw an improvement last week due to the Fed's announcement that they're not going to be tapering. This week we saw a lot of economic data, a lot of stuff from the housing market. It was actually pretty darn good for the housing market. First on Tuesday, the Case-Shiller came out with their 20-city index, and it showed an increase of about 12.8%. So that's a really big increase. In fact, the biggest increase since 2006. So that was really strong for July. However, the month-over-month number, which just measures June to July, that only showed an increase of about 1.8%, and it showed that in about 15 cities, the growth was slowing a little bit. Still growth, so it's still really good, but maybe just not as rampant, and that may not be all that bad. Consumer confidence came in lower than expected, which is not surprising with all this talk over the political wranglings over the debt ceiling and just, both the left and the right just really being all political and not really governing. That doesn't really make anybody feel very good, and so consumer confidence is down, and that could reduce spending in the months to come. So we'll see if that translates, and that's, lower spending. It's worse for GDP, worse for the economy. We also saw durable goods come in. That came in a lot lower than expected, only a 1.7% increase. New home sales actually showed a really big increase, and that came in at about 421,000. That was much higher than expected. Or a little bit higher than expected. 416,000 was the expected number, but much higher than the previous month, which was 394,000. GDP, the final revision to GDP, that came in showing 2.5%, which is in line with expectations, and just showing just overall pretty tepid GDP growth. We also saw new home sales come in. Pending home sales. So those are homes under contract, and that was down about 1.6%, which isn't a huge surprise. Again, still a good overall number, but down a little bit from the previous really strong numbers. And again, not a huge surprise considering the little bit of an increase in interest rates that we've seen over the past few months. Personal consumption expenditures, that came in showing an increase of only 0.1%, which is very tame inflation. It's a tame inflation number. That's the Fed's biggest inflation measure, and it showed really tame inflation, which overall, that really bodes well for probably lower interest rates and keeping this QE3 going for a little while longer. So this week, again, everything's going to be pointing to, or the week to come, will the government be shut down? Will that debt ceiling be raised? It probably will, but just a lot of arm wrestling going on. If it doesn't, that's going to have, though, a pretty big effect on the overall drag of the economy, or to the economy, with consumer confidence going down, less spending. It just really wouldn't do anything for the economy, and that would cause interest rates probably to get a little bit better. But chances are it probably will be solved, but we'll see come October 1st. Also, next week we're going to see the release of the employment data, unemployment numbers, and that's going to also be a big potential mover. Right now, indications are we've seen some jobless claims come in that were a little bit lower than expected, so we could see a little bit stronger employment number. Again, I'm advising clients, take these opportunities, like I've said before. Take these opportunities, lock in rates when we're seeing these, really great rates. Just lock, because there's just too much unexpected info that could be out there that could change things to the negative. So, hope you guys are doing great. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. If there's anything that we can ever do, please give us a call. If you're working this weekend, so are we. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining me with Java with Jared.